Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. Whether it's a favorite kitchen knife, a pair of professional hair shears, or a trusted tool that's seen better days, dull blades can make everyday tasks a lot more difficult. The good news, many of those items don't need to be replaced, they just need a little expert attention. Rodgers Sharpening Services travels to customers across central Arkansas, helping restore everything from cutlery to grooming tools. We've got owner Henry Rodgers here to show us the process and explain how his mobile business keeps blades working like new. Henry, great to meet you.
Hi.
I've been looking forward to this conversation all day long.
Oh,
I have so much to learn about what it takes to have these sharp knives. It's not just, what we do at home. This is a very sophisticated business.
Yeah.
First of all, can we start with how you began in this business?
Yeah. So in high school, when I was younger, I did a bunch of blacksmithing internships because I've always really liked metalwork. But it was a little unrealistic for me to make a career out of it, so it was more of a hobby. And I was trying to find something similar in the field, and I was thinking about like welding or things like that. And then my mom has always worked in restaurants. She worked at Bruno's Little Italy. And there was a guy that would come around, would sharpen the restaurant knives for them. And I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So she talked to him, and he showed me how to do it one day. And I did some training with him. And for quite a few years, it was just a hobby. But around 2022, I started doing it professionally for restaurants, and it's just expanded from there.
Oh, I love this. All right, so we're looking at some video on the screen of what the process actually looks like. Can you get a little bit technical with me as far as what, happens when you're sharpening and what you're looking to do?
Yeah, so it's different depending on what I'm doing. For knives, I use a belt grinder where I start out with like a 400 grit belt, and I'll get the bevel and everything lined up with that, and I'll move up to a 1200 grit where you're really fining out that edge and making sure that you get that burr all the way along. And then I use a felt belt with a high-end Japanese polish. And then after that, a leather belt with a diamond spray. And that combined, I've found, will get a knife razor sharp. You can shave with it. My arms are actually partially bald because that's the way I test a lot of the stuff, is I do a little shave, so it's a little patchy on my arms.
Okay, Henry, that's exactly what I was looking for. That is so sophisticated what your craft is and what a difference it can make. So, if you're a home cook or you're a professional business, having sharp knives, that is the tool of the trade.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of feedback are you getting from people who use your service?
I get pretty great feedback. If you look at my Google page, I have tons and tons of 5-star reviews. People love it. When you're going in and especially when you're cutting things like meat and denser items like potatoes or stuff like that, having a sharp knife can really mean the difference. And it's so much safer than having a dull knife. If the dull knife slips because it's not sharp enough, it would go right into you, while having a sharp knife is going to cut exactly how you want every time without fail.
Okay, so for folks at home, and we'll get to the hair shears and scissors and things like that. Of course, that's part of your service, but I'm still kind of stuck on the home cooks and the restaurants. Does it matter what kind of brand knife we have or how dull it is? Does that make a difference?
Not really. Now, it does make a difference as far as longevity. Cheaper knives will not last as long as something as like a high-end Japanese knife or a high-end German knife. But I can pride myself on being able to get any knife. It doesn't matter if it's the cheapest Walmart knives or the highest end knives. I can get them all razor sharp.
Oh, I love this conversation so much. Okay, moving on. For our beauticians and hairstylists out there, what can you do?
Yeah, so I specialize in convex hair shears and clipper blades. It's very technical compared to knives. Knives is a little bit easier. I actually learned how to do it about a year ago, and I've been doing knives for probably close to 10 years. So you need specialized equipment. I use a Japanese flat hone and very high-end polishes for the shears, and then the clipper blades. It's a special machine. It's a giant wheel with these arms that you connect the clippers to, and it lowers down. And it's interesting.
Okay, and you come to us, is that right?
Yes. I'm completely mobile. I work out of a Sprinter van, so I come on site to people, and I do it right there. People really love the convenience. Because you don't have to send them off like with all the mail-in sharpening services, which you can find tons of those online. But it takes a couple weeks to get those back a lot of the times.
Wow. All right. Well, folks at home, Henry, I can tell your phone's going to be ringing off the hook. This is so fascinating and so necessary. Well, great to meet you.
Yeah.
Very sophisticated conversation. I enjoyed it. To learn more about Rodgers Sharpening Services, schedule a visit, or find out where Henry will be next, visit RodgersSharpeningServices.com. Now up next.